Dawn breaks across the desert. Red blossoms spring up from a freshly dug grave. A busy street thrums with wasted childhoods. Someone doesn't hear the footsteps creeping behind them. A scream rings out, but is drowned out by the noise. This place is dying. And yet, here you are. Welcome to San Arroyo, hunters. We here at Dubious Creatures present to you the vampire with no name, Final Girl. We find ourselves back in the recently used chemistry lab, Stryber University. Joe and Trinity, you are sat across from this Masav individual. Trinity, how would you have collected this distilled formula you did manage to successfully create something akin to Albuquerque's original recipe?
Well, I'd imagine the distilling process has made it quite, as it's like probably only one dose, I'd imagine. So if anything, it's just going to go into like one of these sample little beakers that they would use to store tinier things.
Right, so this maybe like an inch of somewhat eye-wateringly pinkish fluid sits in this beaker between the three of you as he, arms folded, just regards it and you.
I'm assuming you're old, if you're one of them. How much do you know about all of this?
Enough to know that you lot are meddling in something that you got no business with.
I'd say they made it our business.
Yeah. I assume there's some sort of infighting within you guys. You night people, dare I say, use the term vampires.
He chuckles a little bit when you say vampires. And when he does, you do see that he's so still. That's what really strikes you about him. He doesn't have any of the usual slight twitches of motion you get from having a conversation with a human being. His eyes don't blink, his chest doesn't move as he inhales. There's no twitching, no stimming, no shifting in his seat. Unless he's talking, he's completely and totally still.
I'm gonna kind of look over at Joe and just say, they're really fucking weird.
I mean, we're literally talking to a corpse, so...
The corpse can hear you.
Yeah, I know that. So what do you want?
Look, this isn't how this is usually done, but, well, you left an impression on poor Mike back at the coroner's office. And the fact of the matter is, I'm shorthanded at the moment.
Sakes alive, are you asking us for help?
He doesn't answer, but his silence speaks volumes.
Ooh, swallowing your pride, asking the living for help. That's gotta be pretty brutal.
You think you got me all figured out, don't you?
No, I don't know a good goddamn thing about you except that you're a monster, and I do recall that I said the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So.
You got that part right. I am a monster, and I answer to other monsters who would sooner see the lot of you buried somewhere out in the desert, then have even a word of what's going on spill out into the streets under any context. So I want you to just consider very carefully what me even being here actually means.
Well, I know you all have some sort of hierarchy or something out there, so I look over at Trinh. I don't know about you, but I'm willing to go on a little faith.
Yeah, it's not like we have a ton of great options.
He points at the beaker. Is that what I think it is?
The recipe for Frodo Vermello, you could say, yes, from the journal of someone who is not in a scholarly source, but the best that we have.
I know who came up with that poison. I am wildly aware of his work. He's part of the reason why we're in this mess in the first place.
What was he doing? Was it related to what's under Jackalope Gems?
You do realize the more I tell you, the more of a liability you become, yes?
I'm in the thick of it now.
Trinity, go ahead and give me a charisma plus persuasion check.
I rolled 1, which I'm going to willpower to 2.
Yeah, he's stone-faced. As burningly curious as you are about this whole situation, you also get the sense that he's retaining information for your safety as much as his own secrecy, which is a little disheartening, but also a little worrying, because if he feels he needs to still keep things close to the vest at this stage, that doesn't bode well, now does it?
So answer me this. You want our help? What do we get in exchange? Not it? Until what? You feel a little peckish?
There would be some conditions.
The condition that you're not going to fucking kill us, nor none of your scuzzy friends.
The condition that providing any of you survive the next 48 hours, you would have to leave and never come back. That is the best I could do.
Leave Santa Royal. Leave it unguarded, so you all can, open the maw of hell again?
I have spent the better part of the last century trying to keep this exact situation from happening, and because you fucking people keep poking around that goddamn mesa, we keep coming back to this exact same situation. Don't talk to me about trying to keep a lid on it.
Yeah. Spare your threats. Spare your threats. You're telling us we leave our home. Are you saying all of Santa Royal evacuates, or just those that know?
Just you and anyone else wrapped up in this. Honestly, if I were you, I'd leave the country and try very hard to forget about everything and anything you may have seen. That is the best I could do on short notice.
Best you can do. Asking for our help and then telling us to leave our homes. Well,
The alternative is that I kill all of you.
well, it sounds like you plan to do that anyway, just whether or not you're going to do it right now or 20 years from now.
Slim's still alive, isn't he?
Yeah, no thanks to you.
I offered. He turned me down.
Well, he's always been a man of pride.
I'll agree to the terms on one further condition. Me and my brother and my mom get to leave, not just me.
Done.
Okay, great. Wonderful.
I don't know the exact details of what landed your brother in the hospital, but I know who did it. So I agree. It's probably best if your immediate family vacates the premises.
What's his name?
Doesn't matter. He's not somebody you want to know, much less mess with.
If I see him tonight and I get the opportunity to put him down, I want to know his name.
Sebastian. His name's Sebastian.
Okay. Well, I'm ready to hit the road at a moment's notice. We still have some friends that should be working on deterrence that we should probably go check on before we do anything.
Yeah, I gotta make sure Patience didn't blow herself up or something.
So, Patience, could you please give me a stamina plus resolve check?
Well, that's one success. Can't be that bad, right?
Your ears are ringing. Your vision keeps fading in and out. You remember dashing through that horde of creatures. You remember the feeling of those claws slicing through the tendons and muscles on your back. You remember your one good hand hitting the trigger for that firebomb, and then everything went white, but you don't feel like you're on fire. You vaguely remember some feeling of something slamming into you just as the whole world turned into an inferno. You think you're out on the back lawn? You're lying down, everything feels wet. You can't move one of your arms. What do?
My face really fucking hurts. Jesus. I'm gonna try and get myself up at least.
Yeah, you can feel something. Maybe you were wrong about the being on fire bit. You can feel. The problem is you're in so much pain that you're almost in no pain, and you know on some level that you're in shock. You know that eventually it's all going to catch up to you. But in this moment, your body is so overwhelmed that you just can't even process it. And as your vision slowly begins to focus, you're aware the whole world is just silhouetted in firelight. Maria's house is fully ablaze. All the windows blown out from the inside. Tiny pieces of broken glass reflect in that burning light around you. And you see two figures grappling near where you are. You can't quite make any details. You just know there's some sort of struggle happening nearby.
I'm gonna try and move my body, but just get up on my feet. If I get up on my feet, it'll be fine. I gotta call 911, make sure Maria's okay. I don't know.
Maria. And it all comes back to you at once. That creature, it has Maria. And that's when the world comes back into focus finally. And you see Slim. And you see the figure on top of him, holding him down, fangs centimeters from his jugular. And the old soldier, he's struggling, he's swearing, he's given everything he got, but it's not enough.
Well, that thing's busy trying to eat him. I got legs that work. I'm gonna fucking introduce it to my boot.
Okay. Give me either strength brawl or strength athletics, and keep in mind, you are still physically impaired, although, funnily enough, so is your target.
One success.
It's hardly what you'd call graceful, but you managed to plant your boot directly into this thing's face and send it sprawling off of Slim, who gasps. Ah, shit. Oh, shit. Patience.
I think we gotta go to the hospital. Where's Maria?
Oh, fuck, you're in a bad way. And as he tries to, he immediately, despite his own clear state of injury, tries to get one arm over his shoulders, you hear a hiss. And you see the thing that you just kicked off him rear off, and there's not even the pretense of it being human anymore. One side of it is just completely scorched black, carbonized. The other, you vaguely make out scales, like a rattlesnake covering patches of exposed skin. One eye is just a burnt out pit. The other has transformed into this Ophidian pupil that is staring at you murderously. But it is still somehow impossibly alive. You fucking bitch. Coughs.
Oh, I'm a fucking bitch. I'm a fucking bitch. I'm holding myself together. I'm just gonna stomp right up to this thing and kick it right in the face. I can't feel my arms. I can't feel half my face. I'm sure I look like a mess. I'm just gonna take this fucking thing down with me.
I'm gonna say, give me another strength plus brawl or athletics. And I'm gonna say you get an extra die thanks to Slim assisting you, so that should only give you a -1 penalty.
2 successes.
It tries to lunge, but through a combination of your just sheer determined stubbornness and its injury, it lunges forward, and with your good hand, you curl it into a fist, and in a beautiful right cross, send him right back to the ground.
Okay, you take that, you motherfucker. Ow. Chase, where's Maria? Did you see Maria anywhere? I'm really sorry about the house.
He looks back at the house, which again is fully on fire. Shit, I don't know, they jumped me in the backyard, and I think they dragged me in. I came to just in time to see that, whatever the fuck that was, walking Maria out the door, and then you were... Yeah, I think I might have tackled you out the window. Honestly, I'm having a hard time remembering. Then his eyes drift from the house to creature who is currently trying to drag itself away with its one good hand. But I bet this fucking thing knows.
Can't say I'm much of a conversationalist, but you want to see if we can get it to talk?
Fuck you, Hunter.
I'd like to stop it from moving forward. Just plant my boot right on whatever tendril is propelling it forward. No. Fuck you, buddy. Look here. You're gonna answer my friend's questions, and then you're gonna fuck my face. Just talk, and maybe I'm not gonna barbecue your ass.
Charisma or resolve plus intimidation?
2 successes.
Chuckles, and as it does, you see it coughing up a mixture of blood and ash. It's drooling out from its mouth between fangs that have extended so far past its gum line that they're actually poking into the bottom lip. I don't know what's funnier. The fact that you think you scare me, or the fact that you think my ass is even more dead if I do talk.
Piece of fucking shit. Always with the melodramatic bullshit, and I'm gonna kick him in the throat.
You just start like curb stomping this guy?
Absolutely, till he tells me where fuck he took Maria.
Slam your boot down on this creature's head, and as you do, again, the noises coming out of this thing are not human. It almost sounds the way, you know, when like you accidentally step on a rattlesnake on a hiking trail.
Oh,
it sounds like that. I will let you make the previous roll one more time. So there's something preventing this guy from speaking beyond just his own stubbornness, and given the current circumstances, I want to see if your pool potentially overwhelms that.
2 more successes, but I'll willpower re-roll that. I'll kick him even harder. 4 successes.
In this moment, this creature is all of them. It's the thing that took Maria, it's the thing that took your parents, and now the tables have finally turned. Now it took nearly getting your arm ripped off and almost being blown up, but you're not afraid. You're angry. And somewhere in the midst of this beating, it realizes that. It realizes just how imperiled what's left of its immortal existence is. And that's when something finally shifts in it, as it goes from confrontational to almost scared. Wait.
Oh, what? Now you're gonna fucking talk? Or I fucking kick your heart in, you bag of fucking dicks?
Don't wanna die.
You're already dead, asswipe. Just tell me where she is so I can kneel over with ya.
So keeps repeating that over and over again.
I'll punctuate him with a kick to wherever his heart might be.
Okay, they're probably taking her back with the others, back to the amusement park.
Jackalopes.
Yeah.
Fuck, it really does really tie back.
Yeah, no shit. He needs them all for his ritual. The ones that have been touched, you know? The ones that have actually managed to get past the border.
Bunch of words in a sentence that sound real interesting. They sound real threatening at the same time.
Patience, and Slim's calling out to you because somebody has definitely called the fire department. You are in a suburban neighborhood, and you can already hear sirens in the distance.
Shit. And I think the blood loss is gonna start hitting at this point. I think we gotta go to the hospital, Slim. They got a payphone, we can tell Joe.
Look, we gotta get you somewhere that ain't here, alright? Just, lean on me.
You lean on me, old man. You kidding me? You quite broken your hip. Fuck.
Well, you're making jokes. That's a good sign. As he, again, almost gets you into a bit of a fireman carry. Meanwhile, the creature, the vampire, is, again, it's trying to run. Or the emphasis being on trying because it can't really. It's more just staggering away.
I'll get the rest of him one day. I don't know. I just need to close my eyes for a little bit.
You hear it just before it lopes off into the dark. He'll forgive you. He'll forgive you. Just need to make it another night. And then it's gone. And that's probably where you black out, Patience. Maria.
Uh-huh.
The drive, you don't really remember it. You seemingly only snap out of this fugue state you were put into when you are roughly shoved out of the car so hard you nearly fall down to your hands and knees. Skin-cloaked creature unfolds itself out from the back of the truck. Come now. You're so close. Don't give out, set the final meter.
She's breathing very heavy all of a sudden. Like she was holding her breath that whole time, even though she knows that can't be entirely true. But I think she does force herself up onto 2 feet, although she's kind of in a wide stance like she's about to fall over.
See a man get out of the driver's compartment. Similarly rough looking. You realize he's wearing like rent-a-cop's uniform, like private security, that is very clearly most of the front of his previously, you think, beige shirt is now just fully caked with maroon. His hair's just a dusty mess, but his eyes are wild. You get...
Is he the only other one?
Looks like it, but you are, as you kind of look around, it's the middle of the night. Really the only illumination this far out into the desert is from the sky overhead. There is a sliver of crescent moon above you. But as you are pushed roughly forward, you realize, no, there's another source of light. You see it. Firelight, casting wild, erratic shadows from behind the wreckage of what you recognize as Jackalope Jim's Adventure Park. You're back kind of where it all started.
She looks up at the moon and takes a sort of perverse comfort in the poetry of that before looking to the thing. Though, has he taken some sort of shape other than the one he was in?
You think this is just his natural state, as horrifying as a sentence that is.
Part of her can't help but try and puzzle out his anatomy, although she can't quite look him in the face again.
Those.
It's sort of weird and unreal, and having her head fucked with isn't helping. Where's the finish line?
Just a little bit further. Onwards now to a feast of fools. Pushes you forward. If you thought things were surreal before, they only get more surreal. At the center of this old construction site, in the shadow of the half-finished Ferris wheel, it's a bonfire. Massive, blazing column of illumination, and you see figures, shapes, dancing around it. You think there might be a dozen, maybe more? All shapes and sizes. Younger people in torn leather and denim with multicolored hair. Rough-looking sorts. Look like they were living off the streets until recently. Other people in uniform. But they all have that same inhuman glint in their eyes, and every time they laugh, chortle, you can see the fangs reflected in the firelight. Somebody is, you don't know who is singing the opening bars of Brujeria somewhere in the background, giving this whole affair this horribly celebratory feeling to it.
Damn, there's a lot of you. It's like cockroaches.
Loyal children of Cain, one and all. You'll understand soon.
What, like the Bible story?
Rather than reply, he grabs you with the shoulder and pushes you forward as you see another person is broken away from this crowd. Slightly more human looking than your current host. Older man, bald, very severe looking, wearing a rawhide coat.
Your mortal cat's paws did fine work, Laszlo.
Says the Reaper to this new arrival. Laszlo just looks at you, Maria, almost appraisingly, and says, in a very thick, you want to say Eastern European accent? You're not really sure from where.
What happened to Sebastian?
Blew him the fuck up, most likely.
There isn't really a reaction to that. He just says,
Pity.
the Reaper has stalked away by this point. This new figure grabs you roughly, sort of frog marches you. You see, over by the base of this Ferris wheel, where this large, at some point, maybe due to weather or just to the inescapable entropy of time, a large piece of the supporting rebar has fallen to the ground. And you see people, not these dancing monsters of people, all tied by their wrists to the rebar. Maybe 5 or 6 all told. And you recognize some of them. You don't know them very well, but you recognize some of the people from the dig site.
Are any of them conscious?
Oh, they're conscious, all right, and they are scared shitless. Some of them are just staring aghast, almost like they just lapsed into some kind of like out-of-body situation, and just the sheer terror of it all. You hear another person who just, under his breath, keeps repeating, Hail Mary, full of grace. As he said, as this one guy, you think he was one of the guys, one of the land surveyors that initially helped you pinpoint the cave system. Laszlo shoves you forward, then grabs this guy by the face, looks him dead and in the eye, and says, "Stop. Never in the history of doing that has it ever worked." And he stops. He takes a length of rope out of his pocket and begins tying you to the rebar, Maria.
I think once he produces the rope, she grabs his coat as though to say, "Stop." And she says, "I came here, didn't I? I'm not gonna run."
Not my call to make.
It'll be easier in the long run.
What, we're gonna get thrown on an altar and torn open or something?
Finishes tying you, then he stands up and he goes over to... There's this large boulder near where the Ferris wheel is located. Just this, probably this large rock that just never got cleared during the initial construction. There's a bit of graffiti already, like, plastered across it. He goes over to it and he wipes away some dust, and you see carved into it, underneath the layers of spray paint, is that symbol. Inverse sun.
Can I have done something?
Absolutely. What is it that you would have liked to have done?
I think Maria, having some amount of experience with these sorts of things, not being tied up, well, not like this, but I think while she's being tied up, she wants to have, like, wriggled or fiddled with the rope a little bit to create a slight flaw in the knot.
Okay.
So that if she needed to, she could slip it. To what end, she's not sure, but just in case.
Okay. Go ahead and give me Dex plus... either Dex plus Stealth or Dex plus Larceny.
Can I make a case for craft?
How exactly would you be leveraging craft here?
It's the fact that I have no doubt had to tie things off and lift them up out of deep places before. I'm more pulling on the fact that I know how ropes and knots and cables work from my work.
It's true, you are very much not an armchair historian. You have quite literally gotten your hands dirty on more than one occasion, so I will allow it. 4 successes. Whatever this Laszlo character is doing, you have a brief moment where you're able to just... Whatever he's about to show you, it interrupted perhaps him tying you to this restraint, to the degree where you feel the knot loosen, and you feel like it would probably be extremely painful, but if in a desperate situation, you might be able to free yourself. Maybe. But you see him. You see the symbol now fully carved into the rock face. Very unceremoniously, he reaches out, he grabs one of the other vampires dancing around the border of the firelight, almost like in the same way one might grab the scruff of a disobedient kitten. Grabs him and then just presses their face up against the symbol. And the second he does that, you hear a shriek and the sound of sizzling flesh. And before your eyes, you see the symbol is glowing with a light that is not quite light at all. And this Laszlo pinning this other vampire up against the rock, you watch as it's like its face where it's touching the symbol is being exposed to acid. It's slowing away. It's sizzling, and this horrible smell of burnt meat is beginning to fill the air. And he just looks at you dead in the eye the entire time before eventually dropping his volunteer back to the ground, who still appears to be alive in a sense, but sort of curls up in a fetal position.
I will say this much for the previous tenants. They left behind one hell of a security system.
That's what you're here for. Because you can get past us. You can get past this.
More for you.
How many people do you think you've unwillingly fed to it over the years, Dozens? Hundreds?
What do you think? What is it? 6 more is gonna do?
You're not here as food, my dear. You are skeleton key. He points back at the symbol. That's the lock. And with that, he just stands up and walks away. And you watch the still twitching creature on the ground. Flesh still partially melted.
Maria is biting her lip, trying not to scream or lose her cool, or it's easier than you would think in a life or death situation, but still very difficult. In fact, she's a little confused herself why she's not having a stronger reaction. It's kind of like she stepped beyond some sort of curtain and is hiding backstage or something.
So, meanwhile, I think back out in the parking lot of Stryber University, Joe and Trinity, this Masav guy has, for lack of a better term, escorted you back to your vehicle.
Storyteller,
Yes?
would Josephine have any idea of different factions of fangs, or would she only know that they exist and there are certain things that could take them out?
Well, as kind of elucidated by Slim back when you visited him at Shady Palms, the way he's always seen it and the way he's kind of taught you, there's the ferals, and then there's the urban parasites, the ones that don't care, and the ones that try very hard to blend in.
And which one do I get the sense that Masav was?
Give me a, I'd say either wits plus insight or wits plus occult.
That's 2 successes.
There's something very caged animal about this man. You already got the impression that if he wanted the two of you dead, it wouldn't even be a contest.
But something's keeping him in check.
It's not something. I think with 2 successes, you're not sure why. You just... The angriest you saw him get was when you accused him of trying to, for lack of a better term, let the proverbial cat out of the bag in Red Rocks. And he seemed to get almost offended by the insinuation, like he would do that, like he would unleash that sort of havoc on people.
I understand.
And I suppose that speaks to some sort of, maybe not morality is the right word, but some sort of code, which you can commiserate with.
I certainly can.
Yeah. He walks you back to your car, even, which surprisingly gentlemanly, although probably it's more to keep an eye on the two of you.
Mm-hmm.
As he does, he stops suddenly. Looks around. Where is Hawks right now?
He's always by my side.
Alright, so you hear Hawks reacts too. Hawks this entire time has been, needless to say, given Masav a wide berth. Hawks has always been good at telling when things are dead, and clearly is not very comfortable around Masav, but they almost mirror the same motion as they both seemingly pick up the scent of something.
What is it?
Not what, who. He's looking around. It's like, come on, I know you're here. Don't be shy. And you see, coming out from underneath one of the parked cars, it's this little coyote pup with a torn ear. Scruffy, shaggy little thing. Clearly looks like it's been, even as young as it is, looks like it's been over, it's lived quite a life. And Masav kneels down and a surprisingly gentle motion just kind of beckons it over. It's okay, little brother. Come here.
Easy now, Hawks. It's all right.
This little pup comes up to this man and he scratches him behind the ears. Your big brothers send you over here? What's the matter? And it yips at him.
Who's his big brother?
And do you think I've been keeping an eye on you this whole time?
Listen, we have a deal. Tenuous at best, but we have a deal.
We do. And I'll honor it when the time comes, but... And then he stops as the dog yips at him again, gives out this very low whine, and his expression goes from, well, you don't think this man has smiled in a long time, but he got something close to that on his face when this little creature approached him. His expression goes stone-faced once again. You sure? Fuck. Stands up. I think your friends might be in danger.
Seems to be the theme of the fucking week.
Well,
How bad?
well, according to my friend here, the house that they were staying on is currently on fire, so...
Shit. Okay, we need to go now then. Why are we standing around?
I'll be keeping an eye out.
Well,
An eye out for what?
For my opportunity. But you two need to go.
what did I say about patience blowing something up? Fuck.
Okay, you drive.
Let's go.
Masav scoops up this little pup in one hand and just walks off as you two pile into the car and begin driving. Who's in the driver's seat?
Joe.
Okay, Joe, could you please give me a Dex plus Drive roll, as I imagine you're putting the pedal to the metal.
I sure as shit am. Ain't nobody gonna kill Patience but me. That's 2 successes. I'd like to willpower it.
Absolutely.
That's 3 successes.
Okay, 3 successes. So, Maria does not live very far away from University City because, she does work there. You get there, and the entire block is filled with fire engines.
Fuck.
Okay, oh god, they're probably injured. Do you have a med kit or anything?
No, I thought that was your expertise.
Okay.
I might have an emergency kit or something here in the glove box, and Joe leans over and hits it with her fist to get it to open.
We work with what we have. Okay, we need to go find them now. They've probably, since there's so many cops here, they might have gone. I don't know. I think Trinh is gonna look not fully run in or anything, but it's just seeing if they left any hint of where they've gone.
Give me a wits plus investigation.
6 on a crit, but I have to either choose overreach or despair. I think Trinh is pretty worn down. Her drive is curiosity, but I think she feels like she's really stepped in it this entire day. So I think I'll choose despair.
Okay. Yeah, this is... You left them alone for maybe all told an hour. You start searching around, very purposely trying to avoid the perimeter. You can see not only are there fire engines on the scene, but you can see there's an SAPD patrol car. The blaze seems to be under control, but the house is essentially a blackened wreck at this point. As you're looking around, trying to figure out just where the hell they could have gone, you see a blood trail leading away almost into that sort of paved back street between backyards that some suburban neighborhoods have. It's often used as a bike path by kids. A lot of people put their trash cans out there.
Okay, I'm gonna wave to Joe and then just start speed walking over, trying to remain inconspicuous, but just following.
I'm gonna follow suit. As
you do, you follow, and you're getting more concerned by the minute because in the street light, the blood almost looks black, and there's quite a bit of it.
Oh my god, it's... Okay, they're in really rough shape then if they're still with us. And she's gonna speed up her pace to basically a run.
Well, keep calm.
You're around the corner and almost immediately into the barrel of a gun as Slim, not knowing who was coming around the corner, pulled a gun out of his waistband and levels it directly at your face before realizing, oh shit.
Oh, okay.
Land's sake, Slim.
Sorry. Trying to get her to the hospital, but then I realized how the fuck was I going to explain all this? And as he says that, you look to where Patience is sort of propped up against one of these trash cans. And, okay, so Patience, mechanically, I've got some good news for you. So, I made a roll in the background for Slim, who does have a dot in medicine. So he has managed to, as best he can, keep you from immediately bleeding out. So you can convert one of those aggravated damage boxes to superficial damage.
Nice. That's definitely going to get me far.
But that, you are still in rough shape. This is battlefield medicine. He's literally calling upon all of his knowledge of just basic training to keep you alive.
Jesus Christ, Patience.
Hey.
What happened? Where's Maria?
monsters. A bunch of monsters. No, look, dude, just let me talk. I can talk, and I'm gonna force myself to sit up a little more. Monsters. They came and they got her.
Trin's gonna walk over and begin like triaging you immediately, seeing the shape that your arm is in, with whatever emergency kit that Joe had on hand.
Trinity, give me an intelligence plus medicine check. Your difficulty is 4.
Oh, 1, I'm gonna willpower to 2.
Yeah, that's not enough.
We gotta get her to a hospital.
Yeah, you're trying, but like you're a nursing student. You can plainly tell that Slim has done the best he can with his limited knowledge, and you're realizing even you can't really do much more than that. Like she needs a hospital. She's not in danger of like keeling over this very second, but like, yeah, she needs serious medical attention, possibly even surgery.
You gotta get to Jackalope Point, wherever the fuck it is. Jackalope Johns. I don't know. That's where they took her.
You're in
Is
shock.
she special?
We gotta get her in the truck now. Patience, I
No,
swear to
you
God,
gotta-
if you don't die, I'm gonna kill you.
You gotta go after Maria. They took her to Jackalope. I don't know.
Look, I don't know. Half of what that scaly fucker said didn't make much sense, but he mentioned something about a ritual going down, which don't like the sound of that at all. I don't know why,
Okay.
but for some reason, the way that fucking thing talked, whatever's happening, it's going down tonight.
God damn it.
Crap. Okay. Joe, help me lift her.
I'm on it.
I think Trin is leading, like, as non-suspiciously as possible, of trying to avoid any of the authorities trying to get patients to the car.
Yeah, it's a suburban neighborhood, and people in suburbs tend to be a little nosy, so gonna need a wits or dexterity plus either stealth or streetwise from somebody.
That's 4 successes.
4 successes. Okay. I think it helps that, again, there's this cavalcade of emergency vehicles that's, well, kind of taking up everybody's main attention. Like, already you can see like a small cluster of looky-loos that like emergency workers and police are having to be like, nope, stand back, please. Just sort of like cordoning off the area where, while the authorities try to basically figure out what the hell just happened. So nobody's really paying attention to the 4 of you right now. It also helps that it's 1987, so people don't just have a camera in their phones they can potentially ruin your clandestine activities with. You could get her to an ambulance, potentially. You would have to lie your ass off about what happened, but it is potentially doable. You can, emergency services are on the scene. If you went up to like one of the firefighters or something, they could probably make that happen. You just have to be very convincing.
It's the fastest way to get her help, but I think our Riz is currently post-thrall and shackled to a pipe or something.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to do something a little unorthodox here. I'm not going to try and do I'm not necessarily going to be using manipulation or subterfuge or something. I'm going to see the first EMT that I spot. I'm going to yell and immediately start barking the medical terms and the amount of trauma that she's currently undergoing, to get her priority essentially and play distraction.
So you're going to try and pause play as an EMT, essentially.
I mean, I have some form of credentials to back me up. I just want to basically distract them from how suspicious it is that there's this random girl who has severe arm trauma.
Go ahead and give me manipulation plus medicine, I guess.
3 successes. Just in case, I will willpower this. For 4.
You call over to one of these firefighters and they see the clearly injured woman hanging off of you, and immediately just the training takes over. Like, immediately a couple of people rush over to you. They start checking, just doing a very basic check of patient's vitals, and like, if you don't interfere with this, they will get her bundled off to Sacred Mercy Hospital within the next few minutes. The question is that what you want to happen?
Absolutely. But as I'm being bundled up, wrapped up in a shock blanket, you have to go to the ruins. That's where they took her. They're gonna hurt Maria, but you have to.
Patience, baby. I got you. It's gonna be all right.
Love you, Joe. Be safe. Please just be safe.
Don't worry. I got plenty more hell to give you.
I'll say hi to your brother while I'm there, Trinh.
Okay. Godspeed.
And patients, a ambulance is summoned, and you are placed onto a stretcher, loaded into the back, and the last thing you see of Trinity, Slim, and Joe, and Hawks is their slowly retreating forms as the vehicle you are in shuts the back doors and then rushes away. Maria, something's happening. You don't know what, but there's some sort of change to the tempo of these festivities. You see, in the firelight, climbing to the top of one of these half-finished kiosks, you see the Reaper. And the moment he presents himself, suddenly all of these things' eyes are on him. It is a night of nights. We bring his sword to the depths of their sanctuary. As he says this, it's not a cheer, like a collective scream. The energy, it's feral, it's barely constrained, and the Reaper is like a conductor, the world's most macabre orchestra. You see Laszlo again. He walks over, not to you, but to a woman tied up next to you, and you see her go, no, please.
Let me go first.
He stops, and you can see the look of just relief in this poor woman's eyes as he stalks over to you instead. In the background, from the implements of the ancients, salvation comes. Rejoice! Rejoice! He holds aloft the sickle blade to this baying crowd as Laszlo roughly undoes bonds. You're brave. I'll give you that much.
Not much else to do. I think Maria is currently racking her brain because they clearly know more about this place than she does, but she's researched here normally. She's read the old book. She saw the demonstration just now. And she's thinking back. Well, the original inhabitants put up this barrier, presumably, and stayed the fuck away from it. But that means some of them had to have come down here before. It can't just be us that is the issue, specifically, that we can go down, right? Is it just humans can go down? And They can't. She's trying to piece something together, figure out something that she can know about the situation that they don't.
Give me an intelligence plus. Yeah, I think this would have to be intelligence plus cult.
I'm going to willpower it. 6 on a crit.
Natives didn't want the Tamayat to escape. They put up warning signs. Or perhaps they're more than warning signs, clearly, from what you just saw. Clearly, there's something to that. I mean, you saw what Patience did back at your house. There's some sort of power there. Something very old. Something that was supposed to keep something in, ward something off.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever they're doing is going to unlock that barrier. You remember what happened to Dean Blumenthal, and a very cold realization settles over you as you realize whatever this ritual is, you're probably not going to survive it if it's successful.
Oh. So she had been operating under the impression that she was going to get sent down there. But it's seeming like they just want to use her in a ritual out here?
It would appear so. Again, it's all guesswork. You didn't know vampires existed until about 48 hours ago. You're doing what any intelligent person does. You're using the facts at hand to try and create an educated hypothesis. What is going to happen, even as you're being marched into the perimeter of the bonfire.
And in a weird way, thinking about this, she's just trying to think of a way to buy time, not even for herself. Maybe for the rest, maybe for the people tied up. But in a strange sort of way, she just can't let herself die before figuring out this puzzle.
And as you're being pushed forward, the crowd parts around you and you hear them jeering and laughing and shouting over and over, "Rejoice! Rejoice!"
I think in between chants and when she gets shoved forward again and stumbles on her step, she says, "It's not going to work." And I don't think she's actually addressing it to Laszlo. I think she just mumbles it out as she comes to that conclusion.
Hear him, almost in spite himself, say, "What?"
It's not going to work what you're doing. You're trying to get in there, right? Or are you trying to let it out?
Bold tactic to be pulling at the 11th hour.
No, it doesn't make sense. Feeding it is... Us going down there is what... How that the first time, feeding it is just going to make it worse. They sealed it off and left. They wanted to starve it.
Maria, give me a very important, I'm gonna say intelligence plus persuasion.
And I'm going to willpower it too. 7.
You don't know this guy, Laszlo. You doubt he's a very pleasant individual if he's associating with this crowd, but something that you say, maybe unintentionally, but something that you say resonates with clearly some doubt that he'd had, because he seems like the least enthused person here. You're almost towards the makeshift pulpit that the Reaper has, and suddenly you hear Laszlo swear bitterly in some sort of Slavic language you don't know. So he pushes you aside and says, "Gregorius, get down here. We need to talk." The Reaper, despite how inhuman it is, seems almost like taken off guard, like he wasn't expecting that level of back talk at the apex of whatever this ceremony was supposed to be.
Maria's taken aback too. She's reeling from the fact that it even has a name.
It leaps down.
Lost your nerve already, Varga. You have had us stumbling ever since we crossed the border from Mexico. Tell me that it was worth it, oh pack priest.
Tell me that we are not just tilting at fucking windmills. Whatever this argument you seem to have sparked is, well, okay, something's going on, and the rest of the creatures, the rest of the vampires, seem just as confused by all of it, just as taken aback. The energy shifts. There's still this tension, but now it's tension of a very different kind. You hear Laszlo continue. You've had that runt, Sebastian, running around town for months, and all we have to show for it is a batch of new shovelheads and some close calls with the Camarilla. Text our sound. With this, he holds up the knife. We can cut straight to their heart. You don't know what's in there. You just think you do. Where's your spine? You've been whinging ever since we crossed the county line. Maria, what are you doing while all of this is happening?
I think at first she's just biting her lip and looking back and forth between the two of them, both in shock that this is actually working, and also just trying to absorb as many proper nouns as possible because she doesn't know what will give her an edge. And I think her voice cracks as she says, wait, you don't know what's down there?
Reaper looks at you. Those 4 eyes and that horribly malformed skull. And despite the sheer inhumanity, there's a moment, a brief moment, not of uncertainty. There's a zealotry driving this creature that it's gone beyond all logical sense. And you're starting to realize you may have unintentionally tapped a vein of discontent with that drive.
And while she still recoils from its gaze, in a weird way, seeing an emotion she can recognize disarms it a little in her eyes. On the one hand, reality is starting to crash back in, and oh god, she hopes Patience is okay. But on the other hand, they seem weirdly human all of a sudden. And I think she gulps and says, I mean, I don't know exactly what it is either, but I don't think it's one of you. You're like, what, Romanian? Is that actually a thing with vampires being from Romania?
Laszlo seems almost slightly bemused despite the circumstances. Hungarian.
Gotcha. So I'm seeing you and a lot of lost boys looking people from the city. Whatever's down there was there for centuries. I'm pretty sure this was closed off before even white people showed up. So, I mean, it seems to eat blood or something like it, but I don't. You're too. She kind of gestures awkwardly with her hands. Human shaped.
I realize that you're filibustering, Maria. I need you to roll to see how well you're filibustering, because right now your advantage is purely based off of confusion and some kind of internal schism that you kind of just stumbled into. So, again, very important roll. I need some form of... I'm going to leave it up to you, but it has to be some form of social pool.
I mean, she's not being dishonest here. She's just stumbling out her honest thoughts. So, charisma, persuasion?
All right.
I'm gonna willpower again. 4.
It was nice while it lasted. The Reaper roars, seizing you by the throat and lifting you up, and just the thorny protrusions of its built into its bony claws immediately start to draw blood as you suddenly can't breathe. Enough! And when he screams that out, everyone, even Laszlo, winces and draws back just a little, almost simultaneously. I conduct the Voldery here, not you, Doctus. I led us here. I will strike this blow for the sword. Even if you won't. Tosses you back to the ground. You question our rights, Ein?
She spits out blood because, her neck just got fucking poked. And she says, am I able to speak even?
I think it entirely depends on how terrified Maria is in this moment.
She is absolutely terrified. But I think being called a derisive term has flipped a switch, and it becomes kind of clear how, despite being kind of a wilting flower, she was able to take those fuckers to court and basically win if it weren't for homophobia. I think she coughs up a glob of blood and says, I know fuck all about your rights. I just know you're pointing your sword or whatever in the wrong direction. Said something about me saving you, right? So, fuck, why am I even doing this? I should just let you run down there and die.
That's all you get, as suddenly one hand is pinning your face into the dirt, pressing you down. You're stalling. You think your little menagerie is going to save you? Let me show you, Maria Winters. Let me show you why you are cattle. You feel its other hand tears away the back of your shirt to expose your bare back, and you feel the tip of the blade pierce into it as he starts to carve. You can't tell what he's doing, but it hurts. And as he's doing that, you see out of the corner of your vision, another one of these vampires takes, looks like a jar? You realize, wait, you recognize that jar. It's one of the jars from the dig site, those weird clay amphorae you found. As he's carving, he's speaking, but it's not words in any language you understand. It doesn't even really sound like language. It's all sharp, hissing syllables that he more spits than speaks. Maria, I need you to give me a stamina plus a call roll.
And I think she's not even really hearing the non-words because she is shrieking. She can't stay calm through this. She's only human. I'm gonna willpower. 3.
There's this horrible sensation, this coldness that begins to spread through you as the symbol of warning, the symbol of the sun that swallows light is carved into the flesh of your back, and the blood begins to lift out of the wound in a crimson fountain. You watch your own essence in a arc of liquid float up into the air, forming all kinds of strange patterns, reflecting in the firelight before eventually draining into the open amphorae. And it is a slow torturous and horrifying process. You take 3 points of aggravated damage.
What can I say but ow?
Oh, it's not done. It's still going. You can feel yourself dying.
I think her vision is bleary, shaky from the blood loss. She just murmurs out, "Patience would stop, you stupid cockroaches."